Okay, good afternoon friends. Welcome to our lecture series on digital circuits and design. In this subject, we will be talking about the basics of the digital circuits, their basic concepts and how all these circuits are designed. So, first of all, our subject is digital circuits and design. There are a number of books available in the market that you can refer for the subject. Most important and rather very good ones are, one is Digital Design by Maurice Mano. It is by Pearson Education, so you can refer this book. Another book that is available is Digital Fundamentals by Thomas L. Floyd. These are rather two very important or rather very good books that you can refer for the subject. Rest, all the basics we will be covering in the class. Since today is our first lecture, so we will be starting with the concept of number system. Number system is one of the basic methods of representation of information. Information is described in terms of digit, or if we talk in particular in terms of numbers, so different methods of depiction exist in the literature. Any number system is identified by two things. We have the symbols to represent the information, and another thing is the base or the radix. Now, what is a base or what is a radix? Any number system, if we represent, so radix carries a very important place. Radix, if we say suppose denote by R, then what is its importance? Importance goes that all the symbols will be from 0 to R minus 1. For example, our basic number system that we use every day is the decimal number system. In a decimal number system, the radix or the base is 10. So the symbols used are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Point being that any number or any information represented will be a combination of these symbols. Say for example, if we have a number 286, so you can see all the symbols are taken from any of these. Now, point goes, what is the importance of this radix over here? Thing is, any number system or any information that we represent, here the number is always written in the brackets and in the base we write the radix to which the number or the symbol belongs. Say for example, we have 286. So we will write 286 in this form. Now what is the importance? Importance is the digit that is to the extreme right, obviously before the decimal point, that is called the least significant bit or digit. starting from the right hand side, if we go on towards the left hand side, the digit or the symbol to the extreme right is called the most significant digit. Or bit. So in short, this is called LSB, this is called MSB. Why they are called LSB or MSB we will see in a short while. First of all, like we have written 286 in decimal notation. If we expand it, so our basic way of writing it is, we can write 286 as 2 into 100 plus 8 into 10 plus 6 into 1. Is it okay? Alright. This I can write in the form 2 into 10 to the power 2 plus 8 into 10 to the power 1 plus 6 into 10 to the power 0. Here 10 was our base or the radix of the number system. So ultimate idea is to represent the information. We will start from the LSB into radix or base to the power 0, then the next digit into base to the power 1, and so on. We are increasing one power as we go towards the MSB. Okay. So now you can actually see why they are called MSB or LSB. If we increase the value of LSB, our whole number or the information, there is very less change. There is very increase or decrease is very small. That is called least significant. And if we increase or decrease its value, there is higher change. Okay. So this is our basic number system that we use every day in our day-to-day life. Now problem is that our computer doesn't understand this. In a computer, only number system that it understands is called binary. Binary number system, radix is 2, so symbols used are only 0 and 1. Similarly, other number systems also exist, like we have octal, we have hexadecimal. We'll come to them a later. Now ultimately idea is, since human understandable number system is the decimal, computer understands binary, so some method is required for conversion of decimal to binary or the other way around. So first of all, we'll be talking about the concept of conversion from decimal to binary. First of all, let us start with a small example. Okay, say suppose we are given a number 39 in base 10 or decimal number system. We want to convert it to base 2 or binary number system. So one of the basic approach, or rather I would say the ab initio method, is the long division method, or rather I would not use the word long division, it is rather continuous division method. We start with the number, we keep on dividing it by 2 and we'll keep on accumulating the remainders till the time we reach a stage where the remainder can no longer be divided by 2, or rather quotient can no longer be divided by 2. So first of all, we divide 39 by 2, we'll have the quotient and the remainder over here. So we have to divide it till the stage like it gets completely divisible. So if we have 2 dividing 39, so our quotient is 19, remainder is 1, so we write it over here. Now the quotient resulting is 19, it can still be divided by 2, we'll again divide. So again 19 divided by 2, quotient is 9, remainder is 1. 9 again can be divided, we again divide. Now you can see over here 4, that is completely divisible by 2. So we divide, remainder is 0. The quotient is 2, still it can be divided, so we again divide. Now remainder is again 0. Now we have reached a stage where remainder is 0 and quotient is 1. Now 1 cannot be divided by 2 because that's the general rule of mathematics, any number x dividing y, so y has to be greater than or equal to x. Since 1 is smaller than 2, we cannot divide further. So now for writing the binary representation of 39, we go from here to here and we keep on accumulating the digits. So the binary representation of 39 comes out to be 1 0 0 1 1 1. Clear? Now this is like from decimal to binary. What if we would have been given this and we would ask to find out its decimal equivalent? That means if we would have been given like 1 0 0 1 1 1 and we would then ask its equivalent in decimal. So that is another concept of binary to decimal conversion. Exactly same approach but in a different way. Like for example, what we'll do now, we'll start from the LSB, proceed towards the MSB, and again we'll write down this digit, that is 1 into radix to the power 0 plus next digit, okay, over here, into radix to the power 1, then we keep on increasing the base power or the radix power. Okay. Now what is 2 to the power 5? That is 32 into 1. So this is 32 plus 2 to the power 4, that is 16 into 0, that is 0, plus 2 to the power 3 8 into 0, that is 0, okay, plus 2 to the power 2, that is 4 into 1, that is 4, plus 2 into 1, that is 2, plus 2 to the power 0 is 1 into 1, that is 1. So we add this all, we come at 39. If this agrees from here, like from 39 to the binary or from other way around. Clear? So now another approach that I always tell to the students, for that you will have to remember certain powers of 2. Okay, like for example, 2 to the power 0, that is 1, 2 to the power 1, that is 2, 2 to the power 2, that is 4, 2 to the power 3, that is 8, 2 to the power 4, that is 16, 2 to the power 5, 32, and so on, 64, 128, and so on. Now we were given information as 39 and we were supposed to convert into binary. Okay, so what do? We break this information into 2 to the powers, sum of 2 to the powers. Okay, so this is actually, we'll look for the highest power of 2 which is just less than this number. For example, over here if we suppose have 2 to the power 6, that is 64. Now 64 is greater than this number, so highest power of 2 which is less than this number is 32. So what do? We write it as a sum of 2 to the powers. You have 32. Now subtract 32 from 39, you're left with 7. Now exactly same approach. Now we have to divide this. So again the highest power of 2 which is less than this number. So we can see 2 to the power 3, that is 8, greater than 7, 2 to the power 2, that is 4, less than this number. So you write again. Now again we have to break. So you get now these are actually the place values of the number starting from the LSB. Okay, this is actually what? 2 to the power 0. This is 2 to the power 1. This is 2 to the power 2. This is 2 to the power 5. So starting from the LSB, we go on towards the MSB. Whichever place the digit is appearing, we have to put in a 1. Where the power is not appearing, it is absent, so we have to put a 0. So as symbol, this is 1 for 2 to the power 0, then 1 for 2 to the power 1, 1 for 2 to the power 2, then 0 for 2 to the power 3, 0 for 2 to the power 4, and 1 for 2 to the power 5. So again our number comes out to be clear. Now this is a straightforward number in which we have no fractional values. What if our number has fractional values also? For example, if we want to convert say 39.5 to binary. So here we'll treat our number before the decimal point as separate and after the decimal point as separate. So 39 we have just now seen the representation is okay. Now what after 0.5? In case of decimal, we have to multiply instead of dividing. So we will multiply it by power of 2. Oh, okay, let us take an example of 0.625. And we will keep on accumulating the digits that come after multiplication ahead of the decimal. Say for example, if we multiply, we get okay 0.625 into 2. So this is 25 2s are 50. Okay, 1.25. Yeah. So take this, remove this, and remaining is 0.25 into 2. into the second step. Again you multiply, this is 0.5, so take this. Now 0.5 into 2, that is 1.0. Now we are exhausted. After the decimal, no number is left, so we stop. In case we keep on multiplying and still there are some digits after the decimal, so we take to a certain number of places, 3 or 4 places of the decimal. So now we have accumulated 1 from here, we have accumulated 0 from here, again we accumulate 1 from here. Sorry, this is 0. So now our representation comes out to be 1 0 0 1 1 1.101. Okay. Now again, if we had to go from here to so from LSB we were actually multiplying by 2 to the power 0, isn't it? So after the decimal we start with negative powers. That means for 101, this will multiply by 2 to the power minus 1, this will multiply by 2 to the power minus 2, this will multiply 2 to the power minus 3. So this comes out to be 1 into 1 by 2 plus 0 into 1 by 4 plus 1 into 1 by 8. So this is 0, this is 0.5 plus 0 plus 0.125. We add and we get. So this was the quantity. After the decimal we can see this is what we achieve.